Okay, what is up, everyone? What's up, guys? It is Rob. Hey, YouTube. So it's been a little while since my last video. I've got a lot of real life stuff been going on. Got married, among other things. Had an amazing honeymoon, and did a bunch of other great, amazing stuff that doesn't really matter to these videos. However, it's awesome for me. So that's that. Go ahead and thumbs up that kind of stuff. My wife will like it and appreciate it. And anyway, so moving on. So a couple videos ago, I was messing around in Limited League. I don't know if I'm going to continue that. I suck at Limited, and I know I suck at Limited, and I got a shitty ass uh, pull from my Limited pool, so whatever. I may or may not come to that. That goes on for a couple months, so we'll maybe revisit that or something later. What I will say though is, limited sucking aside, I've made some kind of interesting progress with 8-rack and doing some 8-rack testing, and I've been going down two main routes, and this is one of the main routes that I've been testing. One of the two main veins I've been testing for 8-rack, looking for to advance the strategy whenever I can. So this is what we're looking at now in sort of a Jace rack, if you will. So Vryn's Prodigy, what does he bring to us, and why is it compelling enough to even look at him? Because it's A-Rack is so difficult. There's so little room for anything that a card has to be really compelling on its own for us to even touch it, because we don't have room for much. That in order for 8-rack to do 8-rack, it requires most of the entire 60 cards in a pretty unbreakable shell. Otherwise, it can't be 8-rack and it can't control the hand. So there's just not much room left over. So cards have to be very compelling on their own, is the bottom line for that to make the cut. And we have some choices, and there are finally some options out there. For a long while, it felt like there was nothing, and now we have all kinds of options that we can look at. Everything from Bitter Blossom, which doesn't get talked about a lot, but is still pretty viable, all the way down to Asylum Visitor. This is an amazing card. Seems custom made for us. And now we're looking at another color card in Jace Vryn's Prodigy. Just to recap on him and what he does. Okay, so his regular body is two CC. Tap him, draw a card, discard a card on 0/2 bear body. Um, so don't discount his regular body. His regular body is actually, in some cases, if you have control over the board, his regular body is extremely desirable. That effect, you may have control over the board and you're looking for a rack, or you're looking for an answer card, and you have Jace out there, and when he taps, he gets you an extra card every turn. If it's a card you don't need, you can just pitch it, or if it's a card that you do need, then hey, you got that there, and you can pitch your regular draw. So he basically draws your card every turn. Our deck is all about pitching cards. We're going to be discarding cards that we don't need, or putting them to use in some way. And his ability there, uh, essentially is pretty. We break the symmetry of it. It's like draw and discard a card. Well, we don't care about discarding our own cards that are useless too much. This deck is made to do that anyway, so that takes some of the sting out of that ability, is all I'm trying to point out by saying that. So he rocks, basically. He's good early, and then when he flips, uh, for a while, you might not think he's the greatest at all, but he does come down as a 5, and if he plus ones when he flips, he's a 6, and he just removed 2 power from a creature on the board. So it's going to be hard for them to just swing at him with some existing creatures. So he does pretty well. He tanks pretty well for us. So he's sort of a tanking planeswalker, which is very, very different from Lily, who herself is fragile. Now she does defend herself, but she becomes extremely fragile afterwards. Whereas Jace's idea is that he's going to be able to tank some damage there with his +1. Now his -3 is very useful too, but you may not, it's not as useful as you might think it would be in my testing. In my testing, his +1 has been really the superstar because it gives us another way to repeatedly keep down the board, keep control over the board of critters on the board. But you'll have to get out there and test it yourself to see what I'm talking about in that respect. Now his -3 has definitely been, it's game winning. Like especially when you do something like Wrench Mine into Wrench Mind. Ouch, that could be like game winning there. Like they think they're sitting pretty on 4 or 5 cards, while your board may be loaded with racks, but you can't deal any damage. They're sitting on 4 or 5 cards, thinking they're good. All of a sudden, double Wrench Mind. Ouch. So just throwing that out there for you guys. And then eventually, the whole and why I think he fits into only a certain type of 8 rack and a certain strategy, approach, methodology, if you will. His alt. Okay, so when he alts, every time you cast a spell, you mill 5 cards, which doesn't sound like a lot, but you got to understand that we will create a scenario where that will definitely time them. That will get rid of their deck pretty quick. Now, so you want bridge main because he wants to hide behind a bridge and he will thrive on a grindy scenario, and he will help you get to a grindy scenario before that. So that's why he's cool. Like he helps us go to where we want to be, and then once we're there he helps us win, and it's not like an auto win. You have to work for it, but it's well worth the effort, and he gives us a totally new aspect of locking up the board. Now, keep in mind, this is all completely separate and in addition to the other superstars of 8-rack and the things that are going on in 8-rack. So this is like a whole nother aspect, just by adding this one card in a bridge 8-rack shell. It gives you a whole nother aspect and a way to win. Don't forget, this is yet another way to win the game by milling them out, and you want that in 8-rack. You want that. That's everything that you want out of your so-called alternate win slot, because you can't have just one way to win. Otherwise, you will get shut off by certain strategies that you don't want to be shut off by. And you need to have this. Will give you a more control over the board. When Jace flips, he helps control your board, and that's what you're after. And Jace and Liliana together, side by side, is one hell of an amazing board, especially when they're protected by the bridge. You feel extremely powerful, like there's nothing that can stop you. So you need to. I'm not saying that this is the only way to play 8-rack, or but this may be a way for us to start looking at some ways to advance the strategy and how to adapt the strategy to fit certain metas. And I'm not going to lie, the ability to come at decks that have plagued me for a long time, like Tron, with cards like Negate and Annul, and Annul hits a lot of great cards. Annul hits, Annul will hit Cranial Plating, it will hit Arcbound Ravager, it will hit Exploration Map, it will hit a bunch of stuff, lots of good stuff. There's enough artifacts in the format to have, as long as the fit indies around, you're never going to lack for targets on this. And then it also hit those enchantment type things. This gives us a way. Black has a blind spot in the way of artifacts and enchantments, and blue isn't super great at it, but it does have Annul, and I think Annul is in and of itself, even though we don't have a ton of options beyond Annul, Annul is enough to say. I mean, you can say it's blue's disenchant, and it costs 1. You have to do it preemptively, but it only costs 1 as a payback. So this is the blue disenchant. And then also negate, hitting all the planeswalkers, hitting all the bunch of stuff. Gives us a nice separate aspect. So we get some sideboard options by default by running this. And there may be even some more blue cards we could maybe consider. I don't know. Maybe there is. Now, I'm not sure that this is going to be my final list, guys, and I'll stop droning on replay watchers soon, and we'll get to playing it. But I did want to talk about this because I think it's pretty cool and pretty important for 8-rack. I need to find some more room for some removal. Maybe it'll mean one less Jace, but right now it's just been performing so well that I just want to make sure that that is what I need to cut is just one Jace, because right now I haven't felt the need to get rid of him. So we'll see. It'll probably will. I mean, knowing me, I'll probably end up shaving this down one and then putting this up one, and then that's my balance. But for right now, this is the way I'm going to roll with it. And we're going to go ahead and play some games here. It's been pretty cool and fun so far, and it's a fun way to play 8-rack. Now you are gonna remember we're gonna be grindy here, so it opens you up to certain things. Don't think this is gonna be a catch-all, but maybe we'll through some testing we can shore up the weaknesses that we give ourselves to cards like or decks, the really fast decks. So this looks I'd say reasonable. I'll keep it. So the old Tron matchup. This is just going to be a straight race, the way I look at it here. Hopefully he doesn't have another freaking artifact in his hand. He probably does. That kind of helps. Let's take a look. Alright, so he's got the Thought Knot. He's got the O Stone, which is ouch. The Thought Knot Seer isn't coming out anytime super soon. I gotta take that O Stone. No question. And then next turn, French Mind. I don't know. I don't think it's going to be enough. He's going to get that damn Ujin out, I think. I think I want to play Jace here and then wrench mine next turn. Because he's not going to get Ujin out next turn. It takes 8. He could get the Thought Knot out next turn. Just gotta take the wrench mind here, I guess. I don't know, maybe I misplayed it. I'm not sure. Yeah, I misplayed that. I should have wrenched. I should have wrenched when I could have. Damn. Didn't need that. I mean, no shame in losing to Tron. But I will like to see how the sideboard helps. Running Warping Whale. So I can kill that thing, but he's running the O stones, which hurt. All he needs to do is draw land. Oh, right. He just doesn't have to do that now. Alright, that's fine. Alright, so annul, negates. Extricate's good too. I'll dump the wrench. Go for the throats, can come out. Inquisition of limited value here. Alright, we'll run like that. Alright, let's see how it goes, because I wanted to see with what it would be like with the blue sideboard, so this would be a good test. Hopefully I get some of the cards. Okay, so I did. Need a land, that's scary. He had to mulligan a bunch, so this won't be a really super fair test. He doesn't even play it. Damn. I'm gonna have to mulligan that. I need a little something more than that. Oh, come on, guy. Son of a bitch. I mean, I guess. What else can I do here? Keep. That's not really fair. I knew that was going to happen. He had the same thing happen to him basically last game, but I'll try and play it out. Maybe I can get something going here. That helps a little. I can counter a Nugent or whatever. Ooh, that helps. I can play it like a control deck now. Alright, so good. I'll get to test this out now. Oblivion Stone, yeah, that gets countered. Just gotta play controlling. Use a land, big time. I need land. Gotta get land. He doesn't have a Thought Nazi, or he would have played it last turn. That has to get null. And I will Extirpate it? Nah. I won't. I'll save that for a win condition. Hopefully. Good. Good, good, good. No point in laying down a rack right now. It's too far away to be meaningful. It's like I'm playing like a Drago all of a sudden. Well, 8-rack certainly living up to its name here. I'm gonna just not play it yet. Ah, son of a bitch. I should have done it. I knew I should have. I knew I should have. I'll negate it. It just rips it naturally. Shit. I don't have them. I have other things to kill creatures. What I need to do now is I need to get this out, get all this out. Tank some damage. -2 with the Lily and then extirpate it. Shit, he's got that now. That's not great. That sucks. Damn, that sucks. I mean, I did have to mulligan twice. And this did go a long way. Maybe I played it wrong. Maybe I should have left the... Yeah, looking back on it, I did play it wrong. So, but you know, you gotta play it like this. You gotta do things like that. Swing at the Ujin. Tank more damage. Shit. Doesn't matter. got me. There's no way. There's no way. It's tough. That's a tough match. That's a tough match. We can revisit it though. I played it wrong. I definitely played it wrong. But he had the freaking Karn after the Ujin. I mean, how was I gonna stop that? Even if I had stopped the Ujin, I don't know. So we'll see. Maybe or maybe not dedicate sideboard cards to it, but at least we have something to look at. I'll keep it. I would have liked to have seen a Raven's Crime in it. Cool. Welcome. What? He just quit? I don't know if I really want to play against another Tron. Tell you the truth. It's a good test, I guess. Did I just play against this guy? Is this the same dude, or is this another dude playing Tron? Hmm. Both of those cards are kind of stopped by Ensnaring Bridge, though. I'll take the Tormenting Voice. It might sound strange, but both of those cards are stopped by Ensnaring Bridge. Okay. And the Ujin. No, of course not. Yeah, there's no way I'm getting around that. They have too many huge cards. Damn. So he's running Karn. He's running all of them. All the giant things. Shit. That's useless. Okay, it's not too useful. Extirpate. I gotta try and extirpate something. I gotta play better too. That would help. Okay. Definitely try and extirpate that god awful thing, I guess. I think Vryn here over Ravenscrime even. Oh, did he have that? I didn't even see. There. Shit. Oh, I can't catch a break. I just can't catch a break. The Faithless Looting Tron. Lovely. Because it's not obnoxious enough. Oh, it doesn't really matter. I wonder. I don't know. Maybe that was wrong. He's straight top decking, but I don't have enough of a clock on him, really. Oh, probably. Oh. Unless he gets the Karn right here or Ujin right here. Oh, Lightning Bolt, okay. Has to do that. It's not terrible road. Okay. I think I'm going to go for the ult. This is my next biggest threat. Is her ult. Oh. No. Definitely ult. So now he's pretty far away, and I have lethal damage represented. It doesn't help. Okay. Okay. Got that. Turn mic volume up? Yes. Transgress is int. I will have to look that card up. I don't know it offhand. Mic volume up. How is that for mic volume? Let me know. Should be good by now. Transgress the mind. Ah, yeah. Yeah, I could see that. Sure, like the black negate kind of, as far as they go. Yeah, that makes sense. I like it. I will test it. That one slipped past me. I don't think there's much I can change for this. Unfortunately, the best way to beat them is just to get something ticking on them quickly, but no, I don't have any engines here. This is a little bit too threat light. He mulliganed though, so I'll keep it. Jace is a good pickup. Let's take a look. Karn and Ujin. Son of a bitch. He's low on lands. I guess Karn first. Karn. And he's got a lot of setup to do, so I can get my Jace working pretty quick here. Affliction good, okay. Don't need it right this second, because it won't turn on anyway. Yeah. Let's get Jace in play. Next turn I can Affliction. Done that one actually. Let's grab you. It's the best I can do for right now. Take a look. Another Ujin and Ulamog, of course. Ujin. Get the Ulamog too. What about the bridge? Ooh, that's a tough call there. I think I gotta take the Ulamog. Shh. Alright, that's better. Alright, so yeah, I think I made the right choice there. I don't need to right now. Alright, so he's taken down pretty quick. This is not bad. This isn't terrible. Alright. So his hand's empty. He's got the Faithless. He's choosing not to use it. I'm sitting pretty good here. And a negate, which is great. It's only got a couple turns, and I have negate and Jace online. Raven's Crime will retrace if needed. This looks pretty good. I don't see what can save him right now. Taking up with Jace. I got him. Nice. Nice. So the blue with negates does the trick in a really nasty Tron match that I did not want to have to play. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I did not want to have to go through that again. But it held out, which is very interesting. I have a breakdown of this deck in this video. If you check out the replay on it, right when I went to in the beginning of this video, I spent about 15 minutes going over this deck and what blue is bringing to the table here. We saw a lot of that right now in the Tron matchup. You know, just the fact that I can, you know, have a game against Tron says something. And definitely you saw the power of negate there. If he had got that, if he had hit that Tron, or if he had hit that Karn and I didn't have the negate to answer, he very likely could have gotten in front of me there, or it would have been a lot harder. So also you saw Jace definitely pulling his own there, giving me the ability to retrace anything I needed, and help me get to the cards that I needed as well. So that was good. So even in his 0-2 mode, before he transforms, he's totally useful. He's not like all that much worse, if worse at all. Sometimes I miss the being able to just run through cards ability. So he gives us card advantage. He's an engine. He's another planeswalker. He fits behind the bridge, and he loves the protection of JaceRack. And he lets us beat them in a totally different way than we were able to beat them before by decking them. So it gives us yet another angle of attack. So we're going to attack them at different angles. That's the way you want to beat these decks. You don't want to be too linear. If you're too linear and you only attack one way, you fall to one card. You'll fall to one type of strategy. If you have multi-pronged attack, that's the way to beat this, to do well in this meta. You have to have a multi-pronged attack that doesn't sacrifice synergy. Like you want to be just as synergistic as a linear deck, but also have multiple ways to attack. So that's what you're looking for. So I'm gonna go get some breakfast, I think, guys. But I will do more videos, and I'm glad that we did some more. We got to see two back-to-back Tron matches. I wanted to show some different things, but two back-to-back Tron matches is about as difficult as a challenge as you could ask for, and you see what card what some cards can do, and there wasn't card somebody suggested, transgress the mind. Let's take a quick look at this card, and somehow I missed this. I missed this card. This is fairly newish though. Transgress the mind. Basically, it's the opposite of Inquisition for Kozilek, and that's pretty great actually, because it's everything that they have. This will hit. That's a threat, creature and non-creature alike. So it hits the butchers, it hits the Ujins, it hits the Karns, it hits the worm coils, it hits all of it, including Thoughtseer. So I will take a look at this. This is good. I would say good anti-Tron tech, in that it hits everything in their deck that scares us at least. So it does probably what we want negate to do. Now it's not an instant, but it kind of fits what we do better anyway. Getting it out of their hand. So let me know, guys. We will be looking more at JaceRack today. I will do more videos of it today for you guys to see. So let me know what you guys think. Also stops shuffling over because it exiles it. Oh, does it exile it? I didn't notice that. I did not notice that. Exiles it, yeah. That's true. So you can like get rid of Emergol and all those. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a real good point. Okay, so good to know. Thanks for the heads up on that, guys. I will take a look. Yeah, and check out the replay on this video, because that will have the deck breakdown for you guys. All right, thumbs up and subscribe. You guys rock. Go YouTube. Keep those views coming in and those thumbs up. I really appreciate all of it. So keep commenting too. I read out all the comments. All right, later.